Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So the first 24 minutes of NBA free agency, I was bored out of my mind. And then 3 a.m. hit. And Woj was like, yo, everybody get up. I didn't. I was still tired, man. Sorry, Paul George, you gotta win a championship before I wake up, okay? At 3 a.m. for a free agent signing. But for today's video, we are going to react to everything that's happened in the first roughly 24 hours of NBA free agency, including my Detroit Pistons getting Tobias Harris. All right, if you all don't mind hitting that subscribe button, the Crispy Flakes YouTube channel is now my newborn baby in a few months college fund. So, I'm trying to grind it out. Man, hit that million. Send them to U of M for boys or girls basketball, whatever it may be. Okay, so let's start with the Atlanta Hawks. They got Dyson Daniels, Larry Nance Jr. Via trade. They obviously lost DeJounte Murray. I hate everything the Hawks have done. They're still starting Capella, and it's 2024. It's going to be almost 2025. They're still not starting Okongwu. Dyson Daniels is fine. He's fine. But Larry Nance ain't been good since the Cleveland days, man. Even then, he was okay. They have failed as a franchise this free agency so far. Boston Celtics, they got Korn on the team on the one-year deal. They didn't really do too much. Kind of if it ain't broke, don't fix the situation. So obviously they can kind of round out some things with the roster, but there was no big splashes they had to do right away. Oh, that's right. Bojan did get traded to the Nets. Oh, dang, man. Y'all gonna be running it back. 2023 Detroit Pistons style, man. Mr. YMCA gonna be in a bucket, bro. Dang, I'm sorry, Brooklyn. Charlotte Hornets got Reggie Jackson. As I like to call him, Costco Kemba. That's not an insult. Costco, you get some very good deals. And I think Reggie Jackson's a very good deal. So, Chicago Bulls, we know they got Josh Giddey. If I say Kitty, people get mad. So, Giddey. Patrick Williams on a 5-year deal, if I believe so. It was about $17 million. Yeah, Patrick, it's time though, man. Okay, DeMar probably gone, Levine gone. It's time for you to live up to that 4th overall draft pick, bro. It's time, man. You got paid. It's time, man. Oh, they got Jalen Smith on a 3-year deal. I didn't know that. That's a really good signing. Good solid stretch out there. Center can rebound a bit, so put him with P. Will, and you're in a pretty good place. I like that signing a lot. Good job, Chicago. Cleveland Cavaliers didn't do nothing yet. Dallas Mavericks got my boy Quentin Grimes. I love it. He's exact. And Naj Marshall, both these guys perfect 3-and-D type of guys. Luka type of guys, but also young. So it's just, I don't know, it's a really good fit. These are guys, that can create themselves, but also play very nicely off Luka. I love what the Mavericks have done so far in free agency. Denver Nuggets, nothing to report yet. And then you got my Detroit Pistons, man. My Detroit Pistons, we are on some moves. Let's talk about it. Starting with the most important, Wendell Moore Jr. I'm just joking. I don't know much about Wendell Moore Jr. I'm sure I'll get to know him over the season, but not a lot to say. So if Wolf fans can tell me a little something about him. This morning, we got Tobias Harris for a 2-year, $52 million deal. If you are a Pistons fan and you are mad about this, you are an idiot, my friend. For one, we have a ton of cap space. We got to use it for something. You don't just get to save it for next year, right? But not only that, it's a weak free agent class. The Pistons need shooting. Did I already say it was a weak free agent class? Ain't nobody signing with Detroit. You all think Paul George was picking up the phone? No, we got 2 very consistent players, man, and I couldn't be happier about it. Let me just pull up both these guys real quick here, man. Tobias Harris. What are we getting with Tobias, man? All right, this previous season, he averaged 17.7 rebounds, 3 assists, which is right around his career average. The man's just consistent. He's going to do that again this season, too. I love the signing. Just a beacon of consistency, some leadership that the Pistons desperately have needed, and a guy that I think most importantly plays at the pace of Cade Cunningham. Pistons have a lot of athletic players on this team. Tobias Harris is kind of one of more of those, pick your spots type of guys. I think it's the perfect fit and exactly what the Pistons needed. I'm so happy for it. Also, we got the boy Tim Hardaway Jr., which, you know, I know Maverick fans, oh, I'm so happy he's off my team. Okay, that's fine. I'm happy he's on mine. You know what I'm saying? Like we needed somebody like this, man. This dude's shooting what? Yeah, 35% last season, 38 the season before. He had a 34 season, 39, 30, you know, almost 40%. Like, he can be the sixth man. He'll be happy with that role. I would not start him. You know, I would not sacrifice having a guy like, you know, Ivy out there or a Sar Thompson or somebody like that for the sake of Tim Hardaway. You use him, stagnate his minutes, you know, with Cade Cunningham, always have a scorer out there. That's kind of what I like about Tim Hardaway. I'm very happy with the moves there, man. And I'm going to make a, you know, video in the future talk more about the Pistons, but I'm saying, oh, plus my man Cade Cunningham, pure leadership, decides to sign that max extension or that 5-year extension. He very much could have said no. I mean, obviously, yes, financially he gets compensated for it, but also, you know, last year I'm sure was probably been really embarrassing for him, man. He could have just left. He said, no, I don't want to resign here. But he chose to be the leader and say, I want to finish what I started, man. Forcefully that he attracted to our team. But hey, he stayed. So I'm so happy, man. So happy to have Cade around there. I'm thinking Cade, Ivy, Fontecchio, Tobias, and Duran for our starting five, with Ron Holland and Asar Thompson off the bench. You know, with Sasser, Tim Hardaway, and Beef Stew. Holland, Asar work on their jump shot until they can prove they can knock that down reliably. Then eventually one of those two guys goes in the starting lineup for Fontecchio. That's kind of where I'm looking at it right, man. Not right away. You know, you got to earn it. Just because you got potential doesn't mean you won't beat some of these other dudes in here, man, that have been, you know, been there, done it type of guys, right? That's what Cade needs. He needs that. Golden State Warriors waived. He did not wave back to Chris Paul. I thought it was kind of stupid, to be honest. He's a fine backup point guard. You know, Klay Thompson's probably gone. So, I don't know, man. I don't know if I love it. But I understand, I guess, to an extent why. It looks like they're trying to just maybe go a new direction. AJ Griffin to the Houston Rockets. Oh, from the Hawks. What was that trade? Wow. Wow, yo, Houston. That's a good move. I love AJ Griffin. You guys got some good players up there, man. Dylan Brooks. You also got Tari Eason. Probably some other dudes I'm not thinking of, you know, forward-wise. Indiana Pacers. Obi Toppin back. Pascal Siakam. I love it. Welcome back to the team, guys. Pacers going to be dangerous next season. LA Clippers. James Harden back on a 2-year deal, play with Kawhi Leonard. Derrick Jones Jr. on a 3-year deal. Very nice. So, you know, the Mavericks moving on from him, essentially. And then, surprisingly, Kevin Porter Jr. on a 2-year deal. So, yes, this guy has done some, you know, heinous things. Made some heinous, you know, choices in his personal life. And there's a lot of people out there that should probably get a chance over Kevin Porter Jr. to play in the NBA. But from purely a basketball standpoint, this is a dude that's dropped 50 points, and the Clippers just lost Paul George. You know, I'm sure they're desperate to get something going, and if Kevin Porter, you know, God willingly, can turn things around, I mean, he'd be a great scoring option for this team, plain and simple, from a pure basketball standpoint. You know, whether he deserves that chance, well, the Clippers think he does. So, Lakers, Max Christie returns on a 40-year deal. Very nice. Not a lot to say about him. Good player. Memphis Grizzlies, no moves reported. Miami Heat, get Kevin Love back. Good move. Milwaukee Bucks, no moves. Luka Garza back on the T-Wolves on a 2-year deal. Good young center. Pelicans, DeJounte Murray. We talked a bit about him already in a different video, so not going to go on too much there. New York Knicks, OG, and Mikal Bridges. Damn, New York. Oh, you got both. See, I thought Mikal Bridges, because they paid a bit of a premium for him, you know, with the draft picks, but it was kind of an insurance premium. Like, well, if OG leaves, at least we got Mikal back. But you got Mikal and OG. That, you know, that perimeter defense is going to be menacing, man. I love it. I love it. If I'm being honest, I'm going to even look to shop Julius Randle. I don't know, just a thought. Okay, see, Thunder, they got Caruso. Once again, that perimeter defense too. Caruso's, you know, an all-defensive guy. Absolute menacing of a team. Very dangerous. They just got Isaiah Hartenstein this morning. Love him for a backup center. Some insurance for Chet with his injury woes. Isaiah Joe, great shooter. Aaron Wiggins, great shooter. I believe they're good shooters, right? Yeah. That's kind of what their thing is. Orlando Magic, KCP. It was kind of funny, man. The first 20 minutes of free agency, KCP was just blowing up my timeline to the Magic. I was like, that's all we got? But I do love the signing. He's exactly what that type of, what that team needs. He's kind of their new Gary Harris, right? Got some championship experience. I love it. And then we got the 76ers. Drummond agrees to a 2-year deal. He was a solid backup center for Embiid a few years ago. I don't know what this means for B-Ball Paul, though, man, sadly speaking. We'll save the best for last. Kelly Oubre returns on a 2-year deal. Tyrese Maxey on a 5-year extension. Iverson 2.0. Eric Gordon, good solid bench player, man, going for that championship on a 2-year deal. And then they got the man himself, Paul George. Going playing from one injury-prone superstar in Kawhi Leonard to another, and Joel Embiid. I'm just joking, man. It's a really good fit. There's no real bad way to look at it outside of injuries. But no matter what team he went to, that was going to be a woe. With that being said, I would not go out there, talking your trash just yet, Philly. This man does not have a championship. He's been on multiple teams as that missing piece to the championship roster. So be humble out there. But I also know too, when playoff P shows up, if Philly fans can be ruthless and they can run this guy out of town very quickly, Paul. So you better be up for the challenge, man. Paul, Philly fans can be the biggest enemy to Philly players. So one of the greatest catch-and-shoot players in the NBA, though, can create his own shot, which is going to help Embiid a lot. Can play off of Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese can play off of him. Just no way you really slice him, man. It's just a really solid fit, okay? I love it. Phoenix Suns got Bobo and Mason Plumlee. I like Mason Plumlee on this team. That's a good solid fit. Demi Avdija to the Wizards. Good underrated player. Alex Len, Jalen McDaniels, Malik Monk on the Kings. And then you got Chris Paul to the Spurs. Now, my initial thoughts was that I didn't really like it. And the Spurs fans what don't you like about a guy that can get the ball to Wembanyama? And I guess my thoughts with it is that, it's only a 1-year deal. They got Stephon Castle. I still hope Castle starts. I think you need to start working on that Castle Wembanyama chemistry, as soon as possible. I would not start Chris Paul in this case. I would use him off the bench. A lot of people were also saying Chris Paul is going to be a great mentor for for Castle. In my opinion, just because you're old doesn't mean you are a mentor. Chris Paul's always kind of come off as a bit cocky to me. I think obviously he'll be a good teacher, I guess, though. He will be. But it's you got Greg Popovich out there teaching too. I don't know if maybe this is Chris Paul kind of transitioning into a future NBA coach. That's a good possibility. I'm just saying that this move is fine. At this point in CP3's career, it's fine. It's not oh my God, we got Chris Paul. So yeah, we got a good solid backup point guard. Does anything more, he's doing too much at this point. So we'll see though, man. Toronto, Scotty back. They got Davion Mitchell, love him defensively. Emmanuel quickly returns. Sasha Vezenkov, who is a big man from the Kings, I believe a power forward. Utah Jazz waived Amar Yurtseven, who I like a lot. Drew Eubanks, they got a 2-year deal. The Washington Wizards, you got Brogdon in a trade with Sean Holmes on a 2-year deal. Man, got $15 million a season. Ridiculous. And they got Valanciunas. And they got Sarr and Kuzma and Marvin Bagley. But you might know who else they have? They have Troy Weaver. And there's one thing Troy Weaver loves, it's big men. So what we got for this video. So happy for my Detroit Pistons getting some veteran leadership. This is Cade Cunningham's team. You don't think about Ivy. You don't think about Asar. You don't think about Duran. You think about Cade Cunningham. And what's the best roster you can put around Cade Cunningham? And let the rest of it work itself out. We were the worst team last season, man. Okay? That's all I'm saying, man. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, my friends.